What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense, and it's not April Fool's. This is a real lawsuit, and I'm really of the belief now that Diddy is actually paying people to come up and produce these types of lawsuits. So
I'm so tired, child. I'm so tired. I'm really tired.
y'all hit the like button. The show is about to start.
I was listening to Make It Make Sense. Shout out to Make It Make Sense. Thank you.
It makes sense to me intellectually.
Sense Mims, who a lot of people have been asking to be on the show.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. Made sense.
Make it make sense. You knew it was up.
Oh my God. Big Mims. Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work.
Right here. This is my wife right here. See what I'm saying? This is what I do. That's what I like. He came in here want to act like he was all hard and manly. You come in here acting hard, we gonna see how hard you is.
Okay. Y'all, I just really feel, hold on, let me see if this audio is right. Yeah, I really just feel like we went through the Lamishas and everything else, but now I feel like since we're close to trial, I could honestly see Diddy paying people to muddy the waters even further. And I feel like this lawsuit that we're about to get into is definitely I just can't believe that this is a real. I don't know. It's not April Fool's. Yes, they included Gloria Estefan, the Miami Sound Machine. Welcome, Shaquilla Mack. I could have done this as a pre-record, but you guys have been asking for more live content. Like I said, I'm going to be mixing and match, so this is not going to be a super long video, but I want to show you this before we even get into the lawsuit. TMZ broke the story. See how easy it is for me to say who broke a story? Anyway, it says Sean Combs' legal team tells TMZ this complaint demonstrates the depraved lengths plaintiffs will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. No sane person reading this complaint could credit this story. Mr. Combs looks forward to having his day in court where these lies and the perverse motives of those who told them will be revealed. It is my belief that Diddy is paying these people. Then you have, the troll account saying free Diddy. We have been following these stories, and I cannot wait till the trial at this point. Gina, I don't believe that Gloria Rosie O'Donnell lived next to Diddy on Star Island, so it's not. They just threw anybody out there. But we're gonna get into it. I have it. It's not super long or anything. They're suing Andrea English though. Emilio Estefan, her ex-husband, Sean Combs. Let's see. Plaintiff Monzaro Joseph is a natural person and resident of Palm Beach County, Florida. Plaintiff is a survivor of human trafficking, sexual exploitation, and organized criminal enterprise, and is otherwise sui juris. Blah, 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 blah. Defendant Eric Mejas is a natural person and resident of Broward County, Florida. Defendant Eric is over the age of majority and is otherwise sui juris. How do you pronounce that correctly, though? Let's see. Oh, okay. So it is sui juris. Okay, so I was close. What's going on with Oprah? Well, Oprah has received her subpoena. I can tell you that much. Oprah has received her subpoena, and I think she's going to be playing ball. Hey, everybody coming in, definitely hit that like. It is a free way to support the channel. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Let me see. Okay. This action is brought against defendants for human trafficking, kidnapping, sexual exploitation, obstruction of justice, witness tampering, fraudulent concealment, conspiracy, and related unlawful conduct under both federal and Florida law. Plaintiff was drugged, transported against his will, and sexually maimed as a victim of coercive and organized criminal enterprise beginning in 2015, orchestrated and facilitated by the defendants. Oh my, that's gonna piss me off. The pattern of threats, concealment, manipulation, and psychological coercion persisted for years, extending the statute of limitations under federal tolling doctrines. Defendants not only participated in the trafficking and drugging of plaintiff, but also obstructed justice, facilitated cover-ups, intimidated plaintiff, and enabled these crimes through conspiracy and concealment. Now, if you're new to the channel, I feel comfortable saying I try to amplify the voices of victims, but when we get to the Audrey English part, I just can't. It is actually a real lawyer. I love that you guys think just like me. I thought maybe they were going to be representing themselves as well, but it is a real attorney. Let's see. Let's go down. The law offices of Travis R. Walker, PA. So it is a real attorney. I was thinking the same thing. Let's see. Plaintiff possesses medical records from a licensed urologist and surgeon documenting sexual maiming, disfigurement, and serious inguinal hernias, possibly inoperable, which continue to impact his quality of life and physical well-being. Defendant Brendan relayed defendant Diddy's instructions and coordinated plaintiff's transport. Defendant Adria, who referred to herself as Diddy's sexual assistant, acted as an enabler and co-conspirator, assisting in plaintiff's targeting, isolation, and concealment after the incident. Now, this part about them having doctor's records, I'm not saying that this person is not a victim, but some of the facts, like just off the bat, I don't know that Audrey English was still around. She didn't stick around Diddy for 10 years. So again, it's somebody who I think has taken headlines. The problem is it's a real attorney filing this. So I still feel like these are plants. Assisted in plaintiff's targeting, isolation, and concealment after the incident. Defendant Eric, who drugged and transported plaintiff, later posted threats on Facebook claiming the plaintiff for Bonnie Rivera's unaliving and issued repeated death threats against plaintiff, including kidnapping threats toward plaintiff's minor son. Defendant Eric also attempted to manipulate plaintiff by requesting contact before plaintiff's memories had fully returned. Surveillance footage captured defendant Eric trespassing on plaintiff's property while attempting to evade detection. Additionally, security footage from 2015 shows a hitman known as Sigfrido Garcia, associate with defendant Eric, who is now serving a life sentence in an unrelated murder-for-hire case in plaintiff's alleyway. A police report was filed corroborating this encounter. These acts of intimidation, surveillance, and fraud were continued for years and designed to suppress plaintiff's memory and delay or prevent legal recourse. High-profile individuals including Jacob Arabo, Jay-Z, Gloria Estefan, LeBron James, and Beyonce Knowles Carter are identified as witnesses due to their presence or knowledge of the events surrounding the freak-off orchestrated by defendant Diddy. The facts of the case. I don't know what kind of lawyer this is. Let's look him up real quick. What did I say the name was? Travis R. Walker, Esquire. Let's see. Y'all are messy. Travis R. Esquire. I think this is them. Let's see. They are a human trafficking lawyer. They only have one testimonial. I don't know if I want to open that.
I'm Travis Walker, and at the law offices of Travis R. Walker, we have seen the lasting impact human trafficking has on its victims. Florida Statute 787.06 punishes traffickers with severe penalties, and it ensures that those responsible for exploiting vulnerable people face justice. But survivors of trafficking also deserve justice and a chance to rebuild their lives. Under Florida Statute 943.0583, survivors can expunge criminal records they were forced to accumulate, like prostitution under Statute 796.07. Many trafficking victims are coerced into illegal acts, but this law gives them a way to move forward without the shadow of a criminal past. If you or a loved one has been a victim of human trafficking, we are here for you. Florida's laws are designed to help survivors move beyond their past and reclaim their future. Contact us today to learn how we can support you or your loved one.
So maybe this person was trafficked. Once they said that Audrey was there, and I knew Audrey English could not be there. She was no longer working for Diddy 10 years after she initially started, but maybe they were a victim of human trafficking. Who knows at this point? But let's go back to the lawsuit. Where were we? Okay. On or about April 2015 at approximately 5:30 p.m., plaintiff arrived at his residence located at we don't need to say that. As plaintiff unlocked his door and turned the handle, he felt a greasy substance resembling Vaseline on his hand. Plaintiff attempted to wash his hands but lost consciousness before he could do so. When plaintiff regained consciousness, he was in the back seat of a moving vehicle driven by defendant Eric, with Bonnie Rivera in the passenger seat. Plaintiff inquired about his location, expressing confusion and insisting that he was supposed to be at home. Then, before losing his consciousness again, plaintiff overheard Bonnie Rivera telling defendant Eric that he was regaining consciousness, asking, "He's waking up, cuz. What should I do? Do you want me to knock him out?" To which defendant Eric responded, "No, don't touch him. Don't worry. Just give it a minute. He'll fall back asleep again. I gave him a lot of that scopolamine. I've never heard of that one." Plaintiff regained consciousness at defendant Eric's residence in Deerfield Beach, Florida, where he was being forcibly held. While there, he witnessed a man named Omar Bravo deliver 2 kilograms of narcotics, cocaine, and methamphetamine, which defendant Eric accepted. Plaintiff saw that defendant Brendan, appearing nervous, sat nearby with the motorcycle helmet in his lap. After the transaction, the drugs were placed in defendant Brendan's backpack. Wait, is Brendan the drug mule? Let's see. Was that Diddy's drug? There's been so many names. Let's see. Brendan Paul. I feel like that was Diddy's drug mule. Yes. If you guys don't remember, this is Brendan Paul. How y'all doing today? Okay. Where blah blah blah. Where are we? Okay. After the transaction, the drugs were placed in defendant Brendan's backpack. Before leaving, defendant Brendan stated that defendant Diddy wanted plaintiff to be brought to a freak-off event, making plaintiff realize he was being transported against his will. Upon arrival at the security booth at One Star Island Drive, Miami, Florida, all occupants of the vehicle were required to present identification. Plaintiff was forcibly roused from his drug-induced stupor for a positive identification. Defendant Eric informed security that they were attending an event at the Estefan mansion, mentioned it was Christian's birthday that night. Now, strangely enough, you guys, I think it's also Christian's birthday again. What do you know? So this allegedly happened on Christian's birthday, and now they are dropping this case on Christian's birthday. Okay. I just don't put this past Diddy to be doing this now. I just don't. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Christian's birthday that night. The security logs at the entrance of Star Island will reflect this entry. Plaintiff was dragged through the back entrance of the Estefan mansion at approximately 12:30. Inside, Gloria Estefan panicked upon seeing plaintiff's deteriorating state, demanding call an ambulance. However, defendant Emilio quickly silenced her and ushered her away into the crowd. I think Emilio is her ex-husband. At that moment, plaintiff briefly saw LeBron James, who was wearing a white bath towel, brown shower shoes, and carrying a shaving bag, walking through the hallway. LeBron James looked at plaintiff and, in response to Gloria Estefan's plans for an ambulance, remarked, "Y'all better do something about that." Plaintiff was then led by defendant Adria, who identified herself as Diddy's personal sexual assistant, and through a concealed tunnel that connected the Estefan mansion to Diddy's mansion, plaintiff was secretly transferred to defendant Diddy's mansion. So we got the tunnels, we got Adria English, a new nickname, LeBron James walking through Gloria Estefan's mansion in a towel. No mention of Savannah. Oh, they're still married? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Upon regaining partial consciousness, the plaintiff found himself inside a large party area. Upon information and belief, it was Diddy's son's birthday party. Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter were seated in the room, and upon seeing plaintiff, Beyonce Knowles Carter asked, "What's this? What's all this about? Why is this half-naked white man with a COCK mask standing here in front of me?" Defendant Eric responded, "Diddy wants him to see what we do to snitches. This is part of his punishment." The trial is in May. Yes. Absolutely. Right. Not is this a screenplay. Oh my God. Okay, let's continue. Plaintiff was forcibly paraded through multiple rooms filled with people who were jeering and taunting him. Defendant Diddy explicitly ordered plaintiff's degradation, stating, "He's going to find out what we do to snitches tonight. Get him undressed." Plaintiff was stripped and placed inside a shower area where two unidentified women forcibly washed him while defendants Eric and Bonnie Rivera watched. Following this, the plaintiff was dressed in a small thong bikini bottom and a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcibly inserted and zipped close over his head. Now, okay, black people, I'm sorry, we take it back a second. Beyonce said, "Why is this half-naked white man with a COCK mask?" Black people don't really use that word a lot. COCK. We call it different things. Okay. Let me continue. Y'all, we don't say that word. The exact date of the trial, I believe they pushed it back a week. So I think it may be May 12th. Let me see. I think it's May 12th. It was supposed to be the 5th. They pushed it back a week. So yeah, it's going to be May 12th. I think this person just knew that they lived next door to Gloria Estefan, and they said that the records would show from Star Island, but have they not like subpoenaed the records already? Like, okay. Plaintiff was dressed in a small thong bikini bottom and a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcibly inserted and zipped closed over his head. A locking sex device was affixed to the mask, which protruded from his mouth. Plaintiff was then subjected to degrading and non-consensual acts at the direction of defendants Diddy and Audria. So now Audria is in control. Audria went from a performer at the party to now she is like a dominatrix. Plaintiff was sexually assaulted and forced to partake in unwanted sexual activity using the mask and sex toy on a large black leather ottoman. Wait, okay. Let's reread this. Plaintiff was sexually assaulted and forced to partake in unwanted sexual activity using the mask and sex toy on a large black leather ottoman fist until he lost consciousness again. So it was like a chair shaped like a fist. Okay. So they have on a mask with I guess something like this attached to it, but now they're having to sit on a fist. When plaintiff regained partial awareness, he was locked in a small, dark side room, left on a black leather couch until defendant Audria and defendant Eric entered, dressed him, and prepped him for transport out of the property. While still semi-conscious, plaintiff encountered Jacob Arabo, who was visibly disturbed upon seeing plaintiff in his forced attire. He asked, "What's this? What's going on with this guy? Why is he standing here staring at me with a penis strapped to his face?" Defendant Eric responded, "Oh, he's just some guy who's a snitch. We're teaching him a little lesson." Defendant Emilio intervened, instructing defendant Eric and Bonnie Rivera to move the plaintiff out of Jacob Arabo's sight. Gloria Estefan again pleaded for an ambulance to be called, but defendant Emilio silenced her and shoved her into the crowd. Upon leaving the event, plaintiff overheard defendant Diddy ask defendant Eric, "You're going to be getting rid of him, right?" To which defendant Eric responded, "Yeah, I'll be taking care of that." Following the freak-off event, plaintiff was returned to the gang house, where he was savagely beaten and left for dead inside his apartment. When a gang member later inquired about how plaintiff was kept unconscious, defendant Eric responded, "Xylazine trank." As a direct result of defendant's deliberate acts of violence, the plaintiff suffered catastrophic physical injuries, including severe internal trauma, permanent groin damage, sexual maiming, and multiple inguinal hernias. These life-altering injuries are extensively documented by medical evaluations from a urologist and a surgeon. In the years following the attack, defendant Eric engaged in an ongoing campaign of targeted harassment, publicly using death threats against plaintiff, blaming him for Bonnie Rivera's unaliving, and threatening to kidnap plaintiff's minor son, all in an effort to intimidate plaintiff into silence. Now, if we did not have LeBron walking through Gloria's house in a towel and some flip-flops with a shaving kit, and Audria still being around Diddy way after she was no longer in his employ, I would say this man has medical records. Something obviously happened to him. But I mean, Gloria Estefan being Diddy's neighbor and I just keep going back to Diddy's attorney's statement, which says, Sean Combs' legal team tells TMZ this complaint demonstrates the depraved lengths plaintiff will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. No sane person reading this complaint could credit this story. Mr. Combs looks forward to having his day in court where the lies and the perverse motives of those who told them will be revealed. I just really feel like Diddy is putting these things into play. But okay, let's continue. In the years following the attack, defendant Eric engaged in an ongoing campaign of target harassment, publicly issuing death threats against plaintiff, blaming him for Bonnie Rivera's unaliving, and threatening to kidnap plaintiff's minor son, all in an effort to intimidate plaintiff into silence. Surveillance footage and official police reports confirm multiple attempts by defendant Eric to unlawfully approach the plaintiff's property. Additionally, a hitman named Segfredo Garcia, who is now serving a life sentence in an unrelated murder, was in plaintiff's alleyway. A police report was filed corroborating this encounter, seen as an associate of defendant Eric was captured on security cameras outside plaintiff's residence, further evidence of coordinated campaign of intimidation. Defendant Adria actively obstructed plaintiff's ability to seek justice by tampering with evidence, interfering with legal proceedings, and conspired to conceal the crimes committed against plaintiff. Now, what the hell is this about? Did this man reach out to Adria? Because remember, this feels like a lifetime ago, guys. Adria English was saying, you know, there were people who were reaching out to her who were victims. Is this one of the people? Defendants' acts of coercion, obstructions, threat, and ongoing intimidation persisted until at least 2021, demonstrating a clear pattern of misconduct that effectively told the applicable statutes of limitation under federal and state law. Plaintiff has now compiled the necessary evidentiary foundation to proceed with this legal action, including verified medical records, sworn witness statements. Now, let's get into that. If they have medical records showing that they were abused, that's believable. Sworn witness statements. If maybe this person was a snitch and there were, you know, gangs after him, maybe I could see that as well. But we don't know if Brendan Paul was Diddy's drug mule dating back to 2015. Not saying I put anything past anybody, but we've never heard any sexual misconduct from Gloria Estefan. And we don't like just the whole LeBron James of it all, being in a towel inside this woman's house. So maybe he was assaulted. With all the names they dropped in this lawsuit, I just don't know what attorney would see this and post it. Like TMZ already has, where is it? Let me see. Now, it is true Diddy threw a 17th birthday party for his son back in April of 2015. And while Manzaro is referring to it as a freak-off, the alleged event he described does not match what prosecutors have said in the federal indictment. Let me see. One quick hole we found in Manzaro's story with a simple Google search is that Jay-Z was in NYC on April 1st, 2015, the date of King's 17th birthday, for a speaking engagement about Tidal streaming service, which he had just purchased. So, as a direct and proximate result of the defendant's actions, plaintiff has suffered severe and ongoing physical injuries, profound psychological trauma, and irreparable emotional distress. Defendant's deliberate, coordinated, and malicious conduct caused plaintiff significant economic damage, prolonged suffering, and lasting harm and damages in the amount to be determined at trial. Let's see if we can see real quick how much they're asking for. It's a lot of causes of action. Okay, let's see. Compensatory damages in the amount to be determined at trial. Punitive damage. Treble damages. Attorney's fees, but it doesn't give an amount. Sometimes they say it'll be amount over $75,000. So we don't know how much this man is asking for. We do know he has a real attorney. He has some evidence of medical records. But I mean, right. I don't think that LeBron has any scandals either. You're right, Fearless Love. But this is where we're at. And I cannot wait till this trial is over. I cannot wait till this trial is over. Do I believe this? No. Sorry, I don't. I just don't. Maybe this person is a victim. I'm just not. They just threw out too many names. Let's see how old Brendan Paul is. Because I believe he was like a basketball player in college. Let's see. Brendan Paul age. So Brendan Paul is 25 years old as of April 1st, 2025. So this would, if this were true, then Brendan Paul would be 15 years old, being a drug mule for Diddy and participating in sex trafficking. So yeah, perhaps this person is a victim of something. I just don't know how to be fake with y'all. I want to be here to amplify the voices of victims, but we've reached a place where some of these people I do not believe were Diddy's victims. I believe that they are plugs and plants to make Diddy look like everybody's out to get him, and all of these stories are crazy. I do feel like if it were not for Cassie and that video, I think that he would have denied all these things. But seeing what we saw, the physicality of that video, yeah, I can't. But anyway, you guys wanted some live content, so this was the lawsuit. Miss Sheila says, thank you for not being fake. Yeah, I don't know how to not be direct. Maybe sometimes I need to be a little less direct, but this is just not passing the smell test. The LeBron in the towel in Gloria Estefan's house really, it's very imaginative. Beyonce walking around talking about COCK. Okay, I stand corrected, Lexi. The brutality, not physicality. Suspicious Elmo believes it. I believe you believe it, Suspicious Elmo. But yeah, I can't. I really do feel like Diddy's a monster. I do feel like there are ways to buy, internet trolls and stuff like that, and that's where we're at. So anyway, you guys have a good day. I will see you later. I just thought I would bring you this breaking news. Like the video on your way out. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe.